Okay, this is part 2 of my vegetarian biker video. Part 1 was really a mishmash, so I'm going to try and be a little bit clearer in my summary of why I became a vegetarian. First of all, I'd been a meat eater for over 50 years, and when I was about 48 or so, 47, 48, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure, essential hypertension basically, which means that there's really no defect in my heart, but age-related changes, heredity, and a poor diet, or a diet rich in animal fat anyway, resulted in that diagnosis. So I was on medication for several years. I'm still on medication actually, so that continues. But a couple of years ago, I decided that since I'd been eating meat for over 50 years, that's a lot of animal protein and animal fat to accumulate. So I decided to take a break from that. And for about 2 years, I started experimenting with different forms of vegetarianism. I started eating only poultry, I cut out beef, ate chicken and turkey, sometimes fish. Then I dropped the poultry and concentrated more on fresh vegetables and fruits, organic if I could get it, and here in California it's in ample supply. And more recently I tried to become a vegan, which is cutting out all animal products really in your lifestyle, and that's not possible for me simply because I want leather goods, and I realize that animals give their life for those to make leather, and I'm still a little conflicted about that, but given that I'm riding a motorcycle and trust my feet to leather-covered boots and leather gloves, and I'm wearing a leather belt, and I have a leather wallet, I can't really say much about that. So I'm not going to preach to anybody about how they should behave, only how I have behaved. So I'm down now to just fruits and vegetables, and occasionally I'll have some fish. When I really miss having some animal protein, that's really the wisest choice for me. I love ahi, I love swordfish, and I miss eating that because it's so good for you with all the omega-3s, but I've chosen not to. And I went to my doctor recently, and so I have some blood work that I have to have completed, and I'm really interested to see over the past 6 months how these dietary changes are going to affect my blood profile. And when I get the results of those, I'll share that with you. And I think it's going to be a lot better. I also was motivated by compassion, compassion for the way that animals suffer when they're slaughtered. And I'm not real good with that. Being of a sensitive bent, I have a hard time knowing that the food that I'm consuming has resulted in some rather painful circumstances for our animal friends. So I'm cognizant of that. I don't always make the right or make the decision that would support that 100%, but I'm making progress, I think. Now, do I feel better? I actually do. It's an appreciable difference. I feel like I have a little bit more clarity in my cognition and my thinking. I am losing weight, not a lot, but that's just basically because I really don't exercise all that much. I walk my dog every day for about 20 to 30 minutes, and that has really been my main form of exercise now for quite a while. And that needs to change, and I'm aware of that. So, all right. So if I were to give any advice to anyone who was thinking about transitioning from an animal fat and animal protein heavy diet to one that was vegetarian, I would say definitely look into becoming an ovo-lacto vegetarian. That's a vegetarian that still consumes eggs and lactose products. I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't tolerate milk, cow's milk, or cow fat or anything like that in anything, but occasionally I'll have half and half in my coffee or my tea. But usually I don't buy it. If I go to Starbucks, because I can't stand soy milk, I will get half and half in my coffee. However, it's rare that I do that. So again, if I were going to give some advice, I would say ovo-lacto vegetarianism is probably an easier transition. I would say that you need to make small changes over a long period of time. Doing anything cold turkey is very difficult, at least for me. So I gave up I gave up beef first, and then I still consumed poultry and fish, and then I gave up the poultry. And I did this over about a 2-year period, so it was an easier transition. And who knows, maybe I'll become a vegan one day, I don't know. But I guess we'll see. So I would say make small changes over a long period of time. Seems to be the easier way to go. And also, check into a lot of the meat substitutes that are available now. There's quite a bit of meat substitute products, such as tempeh. Tempeh is a wheat-based meat substitute, which I particularly like. By itself, it's kind of gross, but just like tofu. Depending on how you season the tofu and or the tempeh, it's spelled T-E-M-P-E-H. Depending on what you do with it, it can actually taste quite good. And that's one of the things that I had to realize, was that it wasn't that I was craving meat when I was transitioning. It was that I needed that consistency, that texture in my food. And so using a meat substitute is a way to get around that. It will still give you the sensation that you're, having a burger or something. In fact, the other day I went to a vegetarian restaurant nearby. Nice way to run a stop sign, cyclists. And I had a tempeh burger. Now, I haven't had a hamburger in a long, long time. And I thought, well, okay, this is a good vegetarian restaurant. And it was excellent. I felt like I was having a burger. It was kind of messy, just from everything that they put on it. But so it's a real option to investigate some of these meat substitutes. And I advise you that if you're going to transition to a vegetarian nutritional plan, definitely check them out. I don't go in for the mushroom burgers, the black bean burgers. I've never had a good one, but that's just my own personal preference. Got a few curves here coming up. Nice. So yeah, I do feel a difference. I have better mental clarity. I feel as if I'm moving a little bit easier. I am starting to lose weight after 6 months, and those are welcome changes for me. So I think that's really about the end of what I wanted to say about being a vegetarian. It's a personal choice. It's a choice that you have to make for the right reasons, not just because you think it's cool, because that won't work. You have to have a deeper motivation in order to change anything in your life. And this is a big change, going from eating meat to not eating meat. Especially if you're in a Western country. You are inundated with meat marketing all the time. And so it can be a tough transition. And if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them for you. You can leave me a comment down below, and I'll include a couple of helpful links to some websites and the 2 films that I watched that helped me transition. and helped me gain a little bit more personal commitment to the idea of becoming a vegetarian. So thanks for watching. I hope this is better than part 1, and I will see you next time. All right, Baz out.